Executive Order number 163, which was issued in 1987 of May 5, is invalid. Because at that time, Mrs. Cory Aquino, the President of the Philippines, already lost her legislative power. Sir Speaker, Your Honor, how can we appropriate budget to an agency which has not been validly created? I move that we should assign a 1,000 peso budget to the CHR. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Before any motion, Your Honor,
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the
let me
majority
clarify.
we
Let me
second the
clarify
motion
first.
of the gentleman from the party
sponsor-
list wants a gift. So
Objection.
Mr. Speaker.
And may we explain our objection, please?
No, before that, Your Honor, let me
Mr. Speaker,
Let
our
me,
parliamentary status is that the Honorable
finish.
Marcoleta has proposed a motion. We have seconded it.
We
There
object.
is an objection.
We object.
Now we divide the House. So that is our
Mr.
parliamentary
Speaker,
status.
may
Mr. Speaker.
may we be
explain
given
our
may
objection?
we be given a
Mr.
chance to
Speaker?
explain our position?
Mr. Speaker, I
The
move that
motion
the Honorable
is to remove the budget. We would
gentleman
like
from
to now
Caloocan.
explain why it
Mr.
should
Speaker,
not
I
be
have the floor.
Majority Leader, what is the parliamentary status?
Our parliamentary status is that the Honorable Marcoleta has made a motion, duly seconded by the majority floor leader. It has been opposed by the gentleman from Caloocan.
And we continue to oppose it
We-
too.
I move that we divide the House.
Mr.
but
Speaker,
before that,
Mr.
I
Speaker,
move that, Mr. Speaker, I have the
Mr.
floor.
Speaker, Your
Before we
Honor.
divide the
Mr.
House,
Speaker,
we say we
divide
can
the House.
explain
Mr.
our
Speaker.
position.
Mr. Speaker,
We now
May we
divide
explain
the
our
House.
objection
Mr.
because
Speaker.
the
the sponsor has the floor,
Representative
Mr.
Marcoleta
Speaker.
Those who are in
Us,
favor, please
We can
a roll
adjust
call
say aye.
formation.
Mr. Speaker,
We cannot
the
just
sponsor has the floor.
Without the explanation
And,
of the other
no,
parties.
The
Those who are
sponsor
against
objects
say
to the
nay.
motion.
Objections, Mr. Speaker.
We object to the motion, Mr. Speaker, and the sponsor should be allowed.
We should be allowed.
3 minutes to explain his objection
That is
before,
in accordance with the
before
law.
you conduct
Mr.
the
Speaker,
vote.
I ask for a few minutes
The
suspension.
ayes have it.
No,
If
no.
you continue the
Objection,
vote, Mr.
Mr.
Speaker, you will be violating our rules.
Session suspended.
I move that we reconsider the voting on the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to reconsider. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority
Mr.
Leader.
Speaker, our parliamentary status is to allow those objecting to the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta to explain their objection. We shall first recognize from the minority the Honorable Atienza. Next, he will be given 3 minutes to explain his objection. Next will be the Honorable Lagman to be given 3 minutes
What
from the
happened to the
independents.
sponsor?
I'm also objecting.
And
Mr. Speaker.
lastly, the Honorable Sponsor,
Mr.
3
Speaker,
minutes
Majority
to
Leader.
explain his vote. I move now that we recognize to explain his objection the gentleman from the party list Buhay, the Honorable Lito
The
Atienza.
Honorable Atienza is now recognized.
Salamat po. Kinakailangan pong
You have 3
ipaliwanag
minutes.
namin to. Sapagkat mali-mali po yung mga sinabi ng ating kagalang-galang na Marcoleta na baka paniwalaan ninyong lahat, ay bumoto tayong lahat ayon sa kanya. Ang mga sinabi niya po ay puro mga defective. Purong puno ng depekto. Pati ang Pangulo ng Bansa, idepensa ng Commission on Human Rights. Palagay ko naman napakalabo nun. Madaling sabihin, madaling pumintas, pero napakahirap ng trabaho ng Commission on Human Rights. Pag ito po'y inabolish natin ngayon, wala na pong pupuntahan ng ating bansa. Sapagkat ang problema natin ngayon ay violations of human rights. So the Commission should not even be given 600 million. They should be given maybe 2 billion so that they can function properly. Ngayon, sinabi po ng ating kagalang-galang na Marcoleta, si Pangulong Aquino ay nagkamali at hindi rin po bumuo sapagkat hindi na raw siya dapat. Alam nyo, nung panahong yon, we were all under a revolutionary government. The President had every right to create laws through her own hand, signed by herself. Kung hindi niya naaalala yon, naaalala ko po, sapagkat kabilang po na lumaban kay Mr. Marcos, kami po, ang kasama ni Pangulong Cory, and ako po isa sa mga pumalakpak nung binuo niya ang Commission on Human Rights. This should not be abolished. It should be strengthened because of the times. We are now passing through a very narrow path to lose our democracy or to gain and strengthen it. I say we should all defend democracy because ito na po ang ating maaaring pamana sa ating mga anak. Let it not be said that in the middle of the darkness of night, everyone slept. This representation is awake and will defend democracy all the way. Thank you.
For all of those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I am objecting to the motion of the distinguished Marcoleta to reduce the budget of the CHR to only 1,000 pesos annually. It is a minuscule, embarrassing, and unconstitutional move if we approve such motion of the distinguished Marcoleta. Thank you so much.
Honorable, the Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the recognition of the Honorable Raul Delmar. So move, Mr. Speaker.
You know, the Honorable Raul Dalmar is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank
You have 3 minutes to
Assistant Majority
deliver
Leader.
your speech.
Before my objection, I would like to restate that at the time that President Corazon Aquino issued Executive Order number 163, it was before Congress convened. That being the case, she possessed both executive and legislative powers. So let me go to my objection, Mr. Speaker, to the motion to reduce the budget of the Commission of CHR from 678,049,000 to 1,000. We used to threaten agencies with reducing their annual budget to even 1 peso or 0. But this 1,000 must be the adjustment to inflation. But really, Your Honor, it's ridiculous, especially so because it involves an agency created by the Constitution as an independent body to serve a crucial concern of our nation, to investigate on its own or on complaint by any party all forms of human rights violations involving civil and political rights. Among the reasons for my objection, Mr. Speaker, is first, because it would, in effect, cripple, maim, even kill CHR, which surely is not what the Constitution intends.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, our parliamentary status is that now we shall divide the House. Those in favor of the Honorable
Mr. Speaker, I
Marcoleta's
move
motion
for a nominal
will
voting on
say
this measure, Mr.
yes,
Speaker.
A, and those
Mr.
who are
Speaker.
against will say nay. So with that, Mr. Speaker, we will now divide the House.
You will now divide the House. I would like to clarify. Those who are in favor of the motion of Honorable Marcoleta, which is to reduce the budget of CHR to 1,000, please say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say nay. Nay!
Mr.
The
Speaker.
ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker!
Mr. Speaker.
Malinaw po yun.
Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, do
We
not
will,
commit the mistake of railroading this measure. It's a very important issue. We heard the voice of Congress. We heard a vote of nay.
It was loud and clear, Mr. Speaker, that the
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, our rules
There's a
on
motion
voting
for
are
nominal
very
voting, Mr. Speaker.
Please, Honorable Villarin, there are rules in the House of Representatives. Section 115 is very clear. And I go to the second paragraph. If the Speaker doubts the result of the voting, or if a motion to divide the House is carried, the House shall divide. The Speaker shall ask those in favor to rise, to be followed by those against. So it is simple, Mr. Speaker. We will now ask those in favor of the motion of the Honorable Villarin to rise. Marcoleta, my corrections, Mr. Speaker.
Can we restate the issue, Mr. Speaker, for the guidance of the members of the House?
the majority leader will
Mr. Speaker,
restate the issue.
our
And may I
parliamentary
request all the
status-
members to take their seats so we can count the voting.
So, Mr. Speaker, in response to the Honorable Lagman, we are now asking those in favor of the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta to please rise. Those opposed, please stay seated.
Please rise, those who are in favor of the motion of the Honorable Marcoleta reducing the budget of CHR to 1,000 pesos. Please take your seat. Those who are against, please rise. Those voting in favor, 119. Those against, 32. The ayes, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker,
Majority Leader.
I move now for the period of turno and contra, and with that recognize the Honorable Minority Leader, the
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
Danilo
Mr.
Suarez. So
Speaker,
moved, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, may we clarify the voting?
No, we just declared that the...
119 voted in favor and
Yes. 119 voted in favor of the 1,000 budget of CHR.
So,
And
And
only
there's a pending
32,
motion for
32
nominal
voted
voting, Mr.
against.
Speaker.
so will that constitute a quorum, Mr. Speaker, if we add the yes and the
Yes,
no votes?
Your Honor. And there are those who did not vote. But we have 151. With this number, we have a quorum.
Mr. Speaker, I take back my previous motion. I move now to close the period of debate on the budget of the Commission on Human Rights. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there an